In the glittering world of fame, every spotlight hides a shadow. For decades, Hollywood and the global entertainment industry have dazzled us with beauty, money, and power. But behind that polished curtain are stories that redefine what it truly means to be a celebrity. Between 2010 and 2024, we witnessed 15 years of jaw-dropping scandals that tested reputations, toppled empires, and ignited global conversations. Some fell from grace and never returned. Others clawed their way back, forever changed. So sit back, turn up the volume, and join us as we count down 15 celebrity scandals that shook the world from 2010 to 2024. Jesse James and Sandra Bullock, betrayal behind the Oscar glory.
I think it's true.
No.
He
was probably intimidated.
Not at all.
Yeah.
There's nothing to intimidate. I'm not that.
Yes, you are.
But I think we're probably friends for that long because we didn't.
It was supposed to be Sandra Bullock's year. She had just claimed the Academy Award for The Blind Side, the role that crowned her as America's sweetheart. But just days later, that perfect Hollywood dream collapsed. Reports exploded that her husband, custom bike icon Jesse James, had engaged in multiple affairs with tattoo models and adult performers. The tabloids went wild. Paparazzi camped outside Bullock's home. The nation watched as she disappeared from the red carpet and into isolation, her marriage disintegrating under the weight of betrayal. James issued a public apology and checked into rehab, but no gesture could erase the pain. By June 2010, Bullock finalized her divorce. Dignified, heartbroken, and resolute. The scandal didn't just end a marriage, it symbolized the fragility of trust in an industry built on illusion. Charlie Sheen's Tiger Blood, Meltdown.
How has your life changed now?
Yeah.
Are you happy where you are?
Like all of us, some days are better than others.
Charlie Sheen was the highest paid man on television, the face of 2.5 Men, adored for his effortless charm and comedic timing. Then came 2011, and one of the most explosive celebrity breakdowns of all time. Following a rehab stint, Sheen turned on his producers, publicly mocking showrunner Chuck Lorre and demanding a pay raise in a series of bizarre interviews. But what captivated the public wasn't his anger, it was his chaos. "I've got tiger blood," he declared. "I'm a warlock." Social media exploded. Memes, hashtags, and live interviews immortalized a man spiraling in real time. Within weeks, Sheen was fired, replaced by Ashton Kutcher, and left battling his own demons under the world's gaze. Jimmy Savile, Britain's darkest secret.
But today, I will stand no chance against you.
Okay, now
It's so smooth.
it must be a very emotional moment for you, this, being back here today.
It is. Top of the Pops is something very special. It will always be special.
For decades, Jimmy Savile was a beloved British icon, a charity champion and eccentric TV host. But when he died in 2011, a horrifying truth emerged. Hundreds of victims came forward, accusing Savile of decades of sexual abuse and exploitation, many of them minors. For years, he had used his fame, philanthropy, and connections to conceal monstrous crimes in plain sight. The revelations devastated the BBC and shocked an entire nation. How could a man once knighted by the Queen, a supposed hero, have lived as one of Britain's most prolific predators? The scandal shattered public trust and forever altered how the media handles allegations of abuse. Miley Cyrus, from Disney, darling to pop provocateur.
And what I want to say is that legends get scared too. I'm scared right now.
When Miley Cyrus stepped onto the 2013 VMA stage, she wasn't there to perform. She was there to provoke. Dressed in latex, brandishing a foam finger, and twerking beside Robin Thicke, the former Disney star shattered her wholesome image in seconds. The internet caught fire. Critics accused her of ruining pop culture. Fans hailed her as fearless. And then, on the same day, she dropped Wrecking Ball, a raw, emotional anthem that smashed records and cemented her transformation. But this wasn't recklessness, it was reinvention. Miley had grown up in front of cameras. Now she was claiming ownership of her identity. Bill Cosby, the collapse of America's dad. For half a century, Bill Cosby was the face of laughter and family values, a trusted father figure to millions. But in 2014, decades of silence broke. Comedian Hannibal Buress's viral stand-up clip reopened the floodgates, leading dozens of women to come forward with stories of drugging and sexual assault. The man who built his brand on moral authority was suddenly exposed as a predator hiding behind a smile. In 2018, Cosby was convicted, becoming one of the first major celebrities of the modern Me Too era to face prison time. Though his conviction was later overturned, the damage was irreversible. Once beloved, now disgraced, his name became synonymous with betrayal. Jared Fogle, from Subway spokesman to sex offender. He was the Subway guy, the feel-good story of a man who lost over 200 pounds and inspired millions. But behind that friendly smile, Jared Fogle hid a horrifying secret. In 2015, federal agents raided his home and uncovered illegal materials involving minors. The revelation shattered the wholesome image of both Fogle and the sandwich empire that made him famous. As details surfaced, hidden recordings, explicit chats, a long history of predatory behavior, the public felt deceived. Fogle pleaded guilty and was sentenced to more than 15 years in prison. Subway severed all ties instantly, but their brand never fully recovered. Donald Trump's Access Hollywood tape. It was October 2016, just weeks before the US presidential election, when a 2005 recording of Donald Trump surfaced. A moment that rocked both politics and pop culture. The Access Hollywood tape captured Trump boasting about groping women. When you're a star, they let you do anything. The comments triggered global outrage. Politicians withdrew support, activists demanded accountability. But Trump dismissed it as locker room talk, and against all odds, he won the election. His survival redefined scandal itself, proving that in the digital age, outrage doesn't always equal consequence. Meanwhile, Billy Bush, the TV host who laughed along, was fired. Harvey Weinstein and the Masterson Me Too revolution. In 2017, investigative journalists from the New York Times and the New Yorker unveiled a Hollywood secret everyone whispered about, but no one dared confront. Producer Harvey Weinstein, once the gatekeeper of stardom, had spent decades abusing his power to exploit women. The revelations unleashed a tidal wave. Actress Alyssa Milano's Me Too tweet became a global movement. Survivors found strength in solidarity. Silence turned into revolt. By 2020, Weinstein was convicted on multiple counts and sentenced to 23 years in prison, a historic verdict that signaled a seismic cultural shift. 2018, Allison Mack and the next IVM cult revelation. For years, Allison Mack was remembered as the sweet, brainy girl from Smallville, until headlines in 2018 exposed a chilling secret. Mack had become a high-ranking member of NXIVM, a so-called self-improvement group that was, in truth, a secretive sex cult. Under the control of founder Keith Raniere, she allegedly recruited women, convincing them they were joining a mentorship program, only for them to be branded, starved, and abused. The world was stunned. How could a beloved actress become complicit in something so sinister? When the FBI dismantled the organization, Mack faced charges of sex trafficking and racketeering. Her cooperation with prosecutors spared her a decades-long sentence, but her image was beyond repair. Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin, Operation Varsity Blues, 2019 pulled back the velvet curtain on privilege. In a sweeping FBI investigation dubbed Operation Varsity Blues, dozens of wealthy parents, among them actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin, were charged with bribing their children's way into elite universities. Huffman paid to have her daughter's SAT score secretly altered. Loughlin and her husband allegedly paid $500,000 to have their daughters falsely listed as rowing recruits for USC. The story detonated across social media. Beloved stars from Desperate Housewives and Full House, now the faces of corruption and entitlement. Both served short prison sentences, but their reputational damage was permanent. Their downfall sparked a larger conversation about fairness, education, and the illusion of merit in a system rigged by wealth. For the public, it was vindication. For Hollywood, humiliation. A reminder that integrity cannot be purchased, no matter the price tag. Ellen DeGeneres. When kindness cracked. For nearly 2 decades, Ellen DeGeneres was the reigning queen of daytime television, the embodiment of warmth, wit, and positivity. But in 2020, her empire began to crumble. BuzzFeed News reports from former employees accused the Ellen DeGeneres show of harboring a toxic workplace rife with fear, racism, and sexual harassment. The irony was painful. A show built on Be Kind allegedly built its success on cruelty. Ellen addressed the claims on air, apologizing and insisting she was unaware. But the damage was irreversible. Ratings nosedived, sponsors fled, and by 2022, the show that once symbolized happiness quietly ended after 19 seasons. The scandal became a cautionary tale about performative morality, proof that authenticity can't be scripted. Ellen's legacy now lives in contrast, a reminder that the camera can capture smiles, but never the truth hiding behind them. R. Kelly faces justice. For decades, whispers surrounded R. Kelly. Songs like Ignition and I Believe I Can Fly had made him a legend, but behind the hits lay horror. In 2021, after years of investigations and survivor testimonies, the R&B star was finally convicted on charges of racketeering, exploitation, and sex trafficking. The turning point came with the documentary Surviving R. Kelly, where victims courageously detailed their abuse, transforming private trauma into public evidence. His 31-year prison sentence marked the end of one of music's most disturbing sagas and a major victory for the non-Me Too era. Kelly's story exposed the dark symbiosis between celebrity and silence, how wealth, fame, and power can silence truth until the voices of survivors rise louder than the music itself. It wasn't just his downfall, it was accountability, decades overdue. Will Smith and the slap heard around the world. The 94th Academy Awards were supposed to celebrate cinematic brilliance, but one unscripted moment stole the night. When comedian Chris Rock made a joke about Jada Pinkett Smith's shaved head, Will Smith walked on stage and slapped him. Live, in front of millions. The world froze. Social media exploded. Was it chivalry or violence? Minutes later, Smith accepted his Best Actor Oscar in tears, apologizing to the Academy, but not to Rock. The internet divided, think pieces flooded in, and the Academy imposed a 10-year ban. For Smith, it was a career-defining rupture, a single act that overshadowed decades of work. The moment became modern myth, a symbol of pride, emotion, and the impossible pressure of fame. Even now, the slap remains a cultural Rorschach test. Everyone sees something different, but no one forgets it. Danny Masterson in The Price of Silence. He was once the wisecracking face of that 70s show, but by 2023, Danny Masterson was trading scripts for courtrooms. After years of allegations and a failed first trial, a Los Angeles jury found him guilty of 2 counts of rape. The courtroom was heavy with emotion as survivors confronted the man who had silenced them for decades. Masterson's ties to the Church of Scientology, which allegedly discouraged victims from coming forward, deepened public outrage. Sentenced to 30 years to life, his downfall marked another reckoning in post-Me Too Hollywood. The message was clear: no network, no religion, no reputation can protect predators forever. As he was led away in handcuffs, one truth echoed through the media frenzy: justice may be delayed, but it does not forget. Sean Diddy Combs. For decades, Sean Diddy Combs symbolized success: rapper, mogul, billionaire. But in 2024, his empire began to collapse under the weight of federal indictments. Accused of sex trafficking, racketeering, and decades-long abuse, Diddy faced charges that painted a disturbing picture of manipulation and exploitation hidden behind designer suits and private jets. The indictment alleged secret parties, coerced acts, and victims silenced through power and fear. Combs pleaded not guilty, but the damage was immediate. Brand deals dissolved. Collaborators distanced themselves, and fans were left in disbelief. For the music industry, it was another harsh awakening that behind fame's sparkle often lies exploitation's shadow. Whether acquitted or condemned, Diddy's investigation stands as a defining scandal of this decade: the collapse of untouchable power under the weight of truth. If you found this breakdown eye-opening, like this video, subscribe for more deep dive stories, and comment below which scandal shocked you most. Because in Hollywood, every secret eventually becomes a headline, and the spotlight never stays quiet for long.